Good afternoon. My name is Kevin Dunn with Emerald Coast Neighborhoods, powered by Keller Williams Emerald Coast. Today, we're continuing our buyer circle roadmap, talking to a lender, Mallory Fotiades.
Yes.
Okay, we'll be talking with her. This is probably your second or third consultation is the topic we'll be talking, because the first one we've discussed already. It's just the basics of what a mortgage is, what pre-approval is. Now we're going to start talking about out-of-pocket expenses. So with the lender, you see him at the top of the circle when you first start, and you see him at the end of the circle, the end of the path, when we're trying to go to close and fund. Mallory, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you doing, Kevin?
Oh, not too bad. So as I just stated, we're going to be talking about out-of-pocket expenses that people don't realize that they have to pay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what are typical costs that happen outside of, the principal, interest, and prepays that normally come with the mortgage side?
Okay. So when you're looking at a mortgage, we're going to look at a few things. We're going to look at what is called your PITI, or your principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. And that's what encompasses your mortgage payment. When we go into closing costs, there's a few things that you've got to consider. Most lenders will have an origination fee. My company does not have origination fees here in Florida, so we do save you a little bit of money that way. So origination fees. There's potential discount points for the interest rate that you're purchasing. Another big thing to keep in mind is when we're looking at closing costs, we are starting up your escrow account, and that is going to pay your taxes and insurance for you on your behalf at the end of every single year. And that takes up a pretty large cushion or amount for your closing cost. We're going to collect a full 12 months of your home insurance up front. And depending on the time of the year, we're going to start an escrow account up front, and it's going to allow a little bit of a cushion. So when your taxes and insurance are due next year, you're not going to be short in your escrow account and owe anything out of pocket. Other things to consider are title fees. Title has to do title searches. They have to do lien searches to make sure that there aren't any liens on their property. Each title company has a different set of fees, so that's something to be mindful of as well. They have a closing fee, and typical is about $500 for a closing fee. Another out-of-pocket expense, appraisals. If you're VA and you're shopping in Okaloosa County, that is going to be $650. If you're outside of Okaloosa County, let's say Walton County, you're shopping out in Freeport or Hammock Bay, in that area, that appraisal is $750. So you're probably looking at about $650 to $750 for an appraisal. A lot of things that people tend to miss with closing costs are home inspections. Lenders will never require you to get a home inspection, never.
Right.
But it is highly recommended, so you know anything that could potentially come up with closing or your home. It'll allow you to go back and make adjustments and ask for repairs. Insurance companies, if they are an older home, want to see wind mitigation reports and a 4-point inspection for home insurance, and that can be lumped in with your home inspection. So those are just some of the fees that are associated with closing.
So you mentioned, I just want to drill down just for a second on liens.
Mm-hmm.
How does a lien cause a problem?
How does a lien cause a problem? If there is a lien on your home, and there could be, all sorts of different liens on the home. It could be something as major as a tax lien. Let's say the seller didn't pay their taxes and now they're putting a lien on their home. You can't close on a home that has what we call a cloudy title or a dirty title. We have to make sure that your home is clear, and when you purchase this home, there are no issues. So it could be as big as a tax lien, or it could just be as simple as um, a lien for a pool. You had a pool put in, and the contractor just never took the lien off the home while they were building the pool. Those are easy things, and that's something that the title company takes care of for you.
So, all right, so we have all these costs, home inspections, origination fees, wind mitigation reports, and stuff like that. Can you roll this into the loan? So, say like you have a $10,000 in closing costs with all your inspections and everything. Can you just go, oh, instead of borrowing 250, I'll just borrow 260?
That's kind of a loaded question. I know we've talked about that before.
Yeah.
No, you cannot roll the closing cost into the loan. The only fee that can get rolled in is going to be the VA funding fee, and that is specific to VA loans. Now, what you can do, you can always, let's say you've got $10,000 worth in closing. You have a home you're purchasing for $250,000. You can ask or bump up the purchase price to $260,000 and ask the seller to pay $10,000 in closing cost. But that's a bit of a gray area, because the big thing with that is it has to appraise. It has to appraise.
So if it doesn't appraise for 260, you're still out your 10,000.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Correct.
So in general, nothing can be rolled into, not even the origination fee?
Not on a purchase.
Not on a purchase.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then are there any programs out there that can help offset these fees?
Yes.
Like origination fees or what?
Yeah, the state of Florida actually has a lot of first-time homeowner programs out there. So there's actually a lot out there for first-time homeowners. There's requirements for that to be able to be eligible for those. And we can go into that later. But they do have programs available specifically for first-time homeowners that will help offset down payment and closing cost. We are going to start rolling out another loan program, in the future, that is geared towards not first-time homeowners. So there is stuff out there, for first-time homeowners and, just people who have purchased homes in the past.
All right. You said the dreaded word earlier, discount points.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on the market, points could become an issue on whether you buy them or you don't, what they are. So let's start with, what is a discount point?
Okay. So a discount point is going to be 1% of the loan amount. And what you do at the discount point, you are permanently buying down your interest rates. And let's just say, for example, interest rates are 5.5. You want to get it a little bit lower. I take a look at interest rates and what they are. We can get you at 5%, but it's going to be 1 point. Let's say your loan amount is $250,000. So we're looking at a cost of $2,500 for a single discount point right there. It doesn't always have to be, I will say it doesn't always have to be 1 point. There are a whole lot in between when we're looking at interest rates. Not everything costs a solid point to get down. There's everything between, and that's, when we're looking at rates, what we're going to take a look at.
Okay, so what would be an advantage of doing a discount point? Because obviously, from your statement earlier, you can't roll it in, so that's another $2,500 out of my pocket. Why would I want to do that?
So there's a few things, and when I'm looking at discount points, I look at the market that we're in. We're in a heavy VA market, so in and out. That's what our military is doing. 3 years here, then they go and they turn around and sell the home. I take a look at how long is it going to take to recoup that amount of money. And so when I'm looking at discount points, I'm going to try to keep it within a timeline. If you can break even, 36 months or less, it may be worth it to do it. And how I recoup, or how I calculate the recoupment period for discount points, is I'm going to take the amount of the discount points. I'm going to look at what the principal payment is for what we call a par interest rate, meaning no discount points at all. I'm going to look at that payment, and then I'm going to look at your desired interest rate principal payment, and I'm going to take that difference and I'm going to divide it by the discount point cost, and that'll tell me how many months it's going to take for you to break even.
So let's do simple math. So our discount point is $2,500, and we'll just say it's $100 difference. So in this example, it'll be 25 months. So just over 2 years.
And it may be worth it. And that's, that's a conversation that you have to have with your lender. And this is an honest conversation that I have with my clients, especially my military clients. I'm like, is this a home that you're going to hold on to? Do you have plans to sell it? Because you're moving in 3 years. This isn't forever for you. Are you going to hold on to it, turn it into a rental when you leave? Or are you going to turn around and sell it as soon as you get orders? So I really encourage my buyers to take a look at the long road ahead.
So if we step away from military, because not everybody is military, so I'm just a regular buyer. I don't have plans to move, but there's always that unknown. Okay, because who knows, I may get an offer for a job in Atlanta and I'm like, see ya, Florida.
Yeah. I still follow my 36-month rule. For me, that's my number. Not everybody's going to be that same way. Everybody's going to be like, buy it down. Just buy it down. That's the way you need to do it. I'm still going to tell you if you're going to be able to recoup it in 36 months. And then you, as the consumer, have to make that decision on whether you think it's going to be best for you.
Okay.
And I'll do it if that's what you want, even if it's going to take you 8 years. To recoup that difference. If that is what you want and you still meet the qualifications for that, then we'll do it that way.
All right. So you gave us a lot of information on extra fees that could be involved after, because when you first get pre-qualified, you say, oh, your mortgage is going to be $1,500 a month. Because then it has your mortgage, your principal interest, and then your prepays, which you discussed with the escrow and how you have to pay it up front. And so I just completely lost where I was going with that. Sorry, guys. The big thing is even normal, knowledgeable real estate agents still say, yeah, you can just roll it in the loan. You've seen that all the time.
I hear it all the time. I hear it, yeah.
And you're going to be the bad guy and tell them they can't do it.
I will. I will be the killer of dreams and tell you it is not possible. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, everything's negotiable, because there are closing costs, depending on the market. As part of the contract, you could request 1.5% or $3,000 of closing costs to be paid by the seller. That's just examples. Whatever our current market is, that's why you need to be talking with a real estate agent that's knowledgeable in this and who has friends like Mallory, which you'll find her information in the comments, so you can talk to her directly if you need to about any of your lending questions. Because if you ask me, I'm going to say, that's a Mallory question. Because I don't want to steer you wrong. She lives, breathes, and eats lending. I do real estate. So that's why I'm talking to the expert. And I appreciate you coming in and talking to us.
Okay.
Thank you for coming into Emerald Coast Neighborhoods.